Well, right now, there's a school nurse shortage across the country in the middle of the pandemic. And this morning, reporter Chris Conti continues our Safely Back to School series with a closer look at what might happen to your child's school if there's no nurse in sight.
Of all the equipment you might find inside a school nurse's office, nothing compares to the value of the school nurse themselves.
Is it safe to return to school?
Linda Mendoza oversees the National Association of School Nurses. As she thinks about empty classrooms beginning to fill back up with students, she can't help but be filled with anxiety.
We don't have a roadmap for this. And so I think when you don't have a roadmap, that makes it a little more challenging.
School nurses will be playing a critical role in the reopening of schools. They're being asked to monitor kids for COVID symptoms and, in some cases, help health departments with contact tracing if an outbreak occurs at a school. But a nationwide school nurse shortage puts a lot of that in jeopardy.
In the midst of a pandemic, there should be a school nurse in every school. And there is not.
Nationwide, 25% of schools will be starting the year without a school nurse, a statistic that is particularly troublesome to health officials in the face of this pandemic.
What's driving the school nurse shortage? For starters, pay. The average school nurse makes about $46,000. There's also a simple funding problem. School nurses are often the first to get cut when districts need to eliminate positions. The need is so great that the National Association of School Nurses is advocating for 10,000 new nurses in the next federal stimulus bill.
How will we reduce transmission of illness if we don't have nurses there to assess COVID-like symptoms?
Jenny Gormley and Doreen Crow are both school nurses in Massachusetts.
And the essential role of the school nurse is so important that there needs to be a full-time nurse in school every day at all schools.
Their hope is that in the face of this pandemic, districts across the country will find ways to support nurses with both PPE and funding.
We all want students back learning face-to-face and in the buildings, but we want to do it safely.
There's a lot of unknowns in all of this, right? It changes day to day.
As parents attempt to send their kids safely back to school, school nurses will be one of the best prescriptions for success. I'm Chris Conti reporting.